Hello all my space travelers, welcome back to a brand new episode on the Gaming Galaxy channel. Today I have for you guys a updated version of what I personally think the Saiyan multipliers for forms and power-ups are throughout the canon and non-canon of the Dragon Ball franchise. Now you guys might have noticed in the past I have posted another version of this, but since then I have gathered new information and my outlook on these things have changed quite a bit. So I decided to present to you guys what I personally think they are. And also before I get into this video, I just want to apologize for not posting any videos for a good long while. I think it's like 6 or 7 months now. The reason I haven't been able to post any videos is because I've just been very, very busy, in real life, and I just haven't had the time. And I'm afraid this is going to continue considering how I'm going into the 11th grade and school is going to be starting here within a couple of days. So I'm going to try to continue to post as many videos as I can. I'm going to start posting more and more often. And I just wanted to apologize for not posting many videos. Now then, let's get into the video. Starting off, we have a Saiyan's base form. Now, a Saiyan, as we all know, has basically no cap on how strong they can potentially become. A Saiyan can have anywhere from a power level of 0 all the way up to like a crazy number like 1 Googleplex or something like that. A Saiyan's base has no limit, in other words. Now on to our first transformation. This is the Uzaru state. It is a 10 times multiplier, and it is achieved when a Saiyan who has their tail looks at the full moon. Now in this state, they can either control the form like Vegeta did during the Saiyan saga, or they can go on a wild rampage like Goku did like in Dragon Ball Z. Next up we have the Kari state, which is essentially the compressed version of the Uzaru state. Now just like the Uzaru state, it can be either controlled or it can send a person on a rampage. But the only thing that makes this form better is that it is more agile than the normal Uzaru state. Next up we have, this isn't really a transformation, it's more of a technique, but this is the Kaioken technique. And as we all know, it can multiply a Saiyan's or anyone's, like any race's, power up or from 2 times up to 20 times. It may go higher, but as of this point in time, we have not seen it go beyond a times 20 multiplier. Next up, now this might be a non-canon form, but like I said in the beginning, I'm covering all non-canon forms and canon forms that are at least in the movies. Next up we have False Super Saiyan, achieved by being angry enough to activate your S cells, or Saiyan's S cells, yet not having the strength to bear the stress of the Super Saiyan transformation. And as you can see, the multiplier is a 35 times multiplier. Next up we have Super Saiyan Grade 1. This is the form that Goku achieved against Frieza on Namek. The multiplier is times 50, and it is achieved by breaking your limits and then becoming angry enough to activate your S cells. Ascended Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 2 in other words. Multiplier, or base multiplier, the multiplier for it is 150 times multiplier. Achieved when a user's ki is condensed or concentrated all over their body, increasing muscle mass and increasing power even further than the normal Super Saiyan transformation. Now I want to say this because eventually you guys are really going to start questioning the multipliers, and yes, there are going to be a lot of forms in this that, well, a lot of them aren't really canon at all. Like, you're going to see eventually, but this is what I personally think they are. Now I know that a lot of people are going to disagree, but like I said, this is my personal opinion and I have a right to my own opinion. Moving on, we have Ultra Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 3. The multiplier for it is a 300 times multiplier. Strength increases dramatically, muscle mass grows larger than the previous Ascended Super Saiyan, enough to where it decreases the speed of the user dramatically. Also, this form will increase the height of the user. Finally, we are at Mastered Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 4, or in other words, Full Power Super Saiyan. Essentially, Super Saiyan Grade 1, the initial Super Saiyan, but with no drawbacks. Achieved when the user trains his body to become used to the Grade 1 Super Saiyan state. Multiplier times 500. Super Saiyan 2. A 1000 times multiplier, 2 times more powerful than the Super Saiyan Grade 4 transformation. Achieved by mastering Super Saiyan and then pushing beyond your limits using anger. Next up, we have Super Saiyan 3, base times 4000, 4 times more powerful than Super Saiyan 2. Achieved by going Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, and then tapping into a much greater power, as shown when Goku transformed against Majin Buu, and supposedly what Gotenks did in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Oh, one more thing. It has basically been confirmed that Super Baby 2 in Dragon Ball GT was actually in Super Saiyan 3. So, believe it or not, Vegeta in GT has the capability of turning into a Super Saiyan 3. He just never shows it. Next up, we have the Legendary Super Saiyan, or the non-canon version from Dragon Ball Z. Another title for this is the True Super Saiyan Transformation. Base times 8000 or higher. This transformation allows the user's power to grow the longer they fight. So that's why I have the plus next to the 8000 times. Achieved when a Saiyan who has a rare genetic mutation turns Super Saiyan. Potential Unleashed, or in other words, Mystic. There are many different names for it, but I like using Potential Unleashed. Base times 10,000. Achieve after having the Elder Kai of Universe 7 unlock your hidden potential. Next up, we have Golden Uzaru. Base times 40,000. Can be achieved when a Uzaru turns Super Saiyan in this form. It is just like normal Uzaru, but much more powerful. It is also the precursor to the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. And one more thing. I don't really point this out like in text later on down the line, but when Goku goes Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Full Power, he actually goes Super Saiyan 2 Grade 8, and then condenses back down to a Super Saiyan 4. So if you want, like some people think that means he is actually twice as powerful as full power. I'm not really sure, so I just put it as the multiplier you see whenever we get there. Next, now this is just the base multiplier. I know I'm showing Gogeta and Vegito in Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan state, but this is just whenever they fuse and they're in their base form. The fusion dance, or Moran fusion dance, is a Fusi 1 plus Fusi 2 times 2000. Fusion time is 30 minutes, and the fusion timer is not affected by transformation. The reason I say this is because Gogeta Blue lasted a lot longer than Vegito did. Potara fusion, or in other words, Potara. Base plus base times 2000. Yes, I think that like Vegito and Gogeta's strength are on the same level. I think they are equal. The only thing that makes them different is that one, they have different times, and two, one is affected by transformation and the other one is not. As seen here, fusion time 60 minutes. Fusion time is affected by transformation. Super Saiyan 4 initially. Base times 400,000. Super Saiyan 3 power times 100. Achieved by going Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 while you're in a grade 8, then controlling the golden grade 8 form. So I was wrong earlier, because I did point that out. Anyway though, moving on. Super Saiyan 4 full power. There isn't much to say about this form. It is achieved when 5 Saiyans, actually no, 4 Saiyans, give their energy off to you while you are in a Super Saiyan 4 state. Base times 1 million. Super Saiyan 4 Ultra full power. Base times 5 million. Super Saiyan 2 highly enraged, or otherwise known as Super Saiyan Rage. Base times 15 million. Now the reason I put this so much higher than the others is mainly because Super Saiyan Rage, I personally believe, is a mixture of Super Saiyan 2 God Ki, or a version of God Ki, and then take that and then put a massive rage boost on top of that, and it gives you this multiplier. Now, another example of how big of a rage boost or rage can boost a person, if you look back in the Battle of Gods movie and arc, whenever Bulma is slapped by Beerus, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 2 while highly enraged, and he ends up being stronger than even Super Saiyan 3 Goku while he's still in the Super Saiyan 2 state. So you can dramatically increase your strength depending on how angry you are. Now here is where it starts getting very controversial. I have the normal Super Saiyan transformations go up to Super Saiyan 10. I know that Super Saiyan 5 through 10 are not canon in the slightest, but I personally like the idea of there being 10 Super Saiyan transformations like in the normal line, but Goku and Vegeta have only discovered up to Super Saiyan 4 and going Super Saiyan 5 if you count Dragon Ball AF, both versions. Super Saiyan 5, base times 15 million, same as Super Saiyan Rage, achieved through extreme anger while in the Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Full Power state. Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Full Power times 3, like multiplier wise. Super Saiyan 6, Ultimate Super Saiyan in other words. Multiplier 120 million. Super Saiyan 5 times 8. How it is achieved, it is unknown currently because it hasn't been shown in any fan manga or anything like that. Super Saiyan 7, base times 1 billion. Super Saiyan 8, base times 20 billion. Super Saiyan 9, base times 500 billion. And then finally Super Saiyan 10, the highest Super Saiyan transformation in the normal line without God Ki. Base times 10 trillion. Now we are on to the God form transformations. Now, as you can see, I have this one labeled as Saiyan God and not Super Saiyan God. I personally believe that the red form should be called Saiyan God because it isn't actually Super Saiyan. It's just applying God Ki to your base form. So from here on out, I'm going to be calling this form Saiyan God, and I'm going to be calling Super Saiyan Blue and Rose Super Saiyan God. Saiyan God Red, when 6 Saiyans with righteous hearts gather together in a circle, and then 5 of the 6 put their energy into the 6th Saiyan. The 6th Saiyan will then achieve a legendary power called Super Saiyan God, as called in the anime. Another way it can be achieved is if a Saiyan adds God Ki to his or her base form. Base times 10 million. Super Saiyan God, or otherwise known as Super Saiyan Blue. Saiyan God power times 50, base times 500 million. Achieved by adding a God Ki to the Super Saiyan transformation. Super Saiyan God Rose version. Base times 500 million. When a Saiyan who was already a god turns into Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or in other words, Super Saiyan God. Instead of the user's hair turning blue, it will take on a pink/rosé color. Super Saiyan God Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Power times 2 through 20. Achieved by adding Kaioken to the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. Base, or the multiplier, is anywhere between 1 billion to 10 billion. Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue, Grade 2, or otherwise known as Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Base times 10 billion, as powerful as Super Saiyan God Kaioken times 20. Achieved by adding God Ki to the Super Saiyan Grade 2 state. Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue, Full Power. This is showcased in the Dragon Ball Super manga. Base times 5 billion. When a Saiyan controls all of their energy in blue, and then contains its power inside of their body, they will become Full Power Super Saiyan Blue. Legendary Super Saiyan, the canon version. Now, I know that the official name for this form is actually Super Saiyan Full Power, but that I think is mainly because the multiplier of Super Saiyan Grade 4 and the canon Legendary Super Saiyan state are both 500 times multiplier. Now, the reason that Broly became so strong in the anime, or in the movie, was mainly because Broly has the ability to actually gain physical power during battle, unlike other Saiyans. The only other Saiyan that can do this in canon is Kale. The reason that this state is a 500 times multiplier is when Broly goes Super Saiyan Grade 1, the initial version, on top of the Ikari state. So potentially, Broly could make this form a 5,000 times multiplier if he goes Super Saiyan Grade 4 on top of Ikari. Ultra Instinct Sign, or otherwise known as Ultra Instinct Omen, the incomplete version, achieved by breaking your limits while having a will to survive, also by letting go of all emotions and letting your mind sink into a subconscious state. Base times 50 billion. Complete Ultra Instinct, strongest fighting technique to date in the anime, achieved by completing self-movement. Ultra Instinct Omen, or Sign, base times 115 million. Ultra Instinct Sign, base times 150 billion. Let me correct myself. Ultra Instinct Sign power times 3. The reason I say it is a times 3 multiplier is because in the anime, during Goku's last fight with Jiren, when he is in his Ultra Instinct Sign state, Zeno says that Goku's power is super amazing, and that Jiren's is super, super amazing. Once Goku transforms into the complete Ultra Instinct state, Zeno says that Goku has, his power is super, super, super amazing. 3 times more powerful than what it originally was. Now, I know this might be very controversial, but so far this is really the only idea of a multiplier between Ultra Instinct Sign and complete Ultra Instinct. Now, this form is yet to be shown in the anime, but personally I do not believe that what we saw during the Tournament of Power was the mastered Ultra Instinct state. I think there is something beyond the normal Ultra Instinct state that we saw in the Tournament of Power, the silver hair version. Now, of course, we do not know what that looks like, so I have simply just put a Super Saiyan in UI picture as the representation for it. What I personally think this multiplier will be a base times 200 billion multiplier. The only form that is higher than this would be, I'm pretty sure, Super Saiyan 9 and Super Saiyan 10, as you can see here. But that is all the power boosts and transformations in Dragon Ball. I could cover other transformations from fan series like Omni Super Saiyan from Nastar Media's series or Anime War, but I'll let you guys decide if I do that or not. If you want me to cover any other transformations, leave it down in the comments, and I will see if I can get to them in a later video. See all you space adventurers later. Bye, guys.